Hello, friends, and good brunch news, and welcome to our Peace Brunch. I miss y'all so much.
I miss you guys.
You
know
miss
you miss me,
You
sure.
know you miss y'all. I
miss
sick.
you too, just like a little bit.
You miss him a lot. I know
He
you
is
do.
my
We
baby.
do. But I miss both of y'all. I was a little sick under the weather.
I'm glad
And it
you're
wasn't
feeling
COVID.
better.
I
Thank
am.
God.
You know, it's
I know,
everything.
they think everything is COVID.
Everything is COVID nowadays. But
everything is not
so
COVID.
we got a lot to catch up on.
I'm ready.
What's been going on in the world? We ain't even been able to talk.
I go first because I want to make sure that
okay.
y'all are two black women.
Drop it.
So he just said
I gotta talk about
so
this.
We really
you getting ready to get us?
Oh, I'm about to get y'all.
Okay, let's hear it.
So you gotta wait till I ask the question now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
So early in the week,
I
was having dinner with a few friends, and we were talking about this topic. And one of the topics was, like how everybody kind of came out to their parents.
Okay.
So one of my friends was like, yeah, I had a lot of anxiety because my mom is like super homophobic based on like a lot of the comments that she's made in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people kind of had like, a lot of my friends kind of had that same type of story, the same type of experience. And then it sparked this other kind of conversation about, do black women perpetuate homophobia?
Do black women perpetuate homophobia?
Yeah, homophobia.
I would like to say a hard no.
Why?
And the reason why I say no, I think that it's not necessarily perpetuation of homophobia, is because of the fact that they know what that is entails, what is it going to happen to their child. So I think the homophobia field is more of a protection. They do not necessarily not like you because you're homosexual. They just don't like for somebody to mistreat their child.
Well, why do you think it's going to constantly be mistreated? But when you say we perpetuate homophobia, like give me an example.
Okay.
It starts young, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that black mothers teach their sons that they have to be strong, they have to be men, they can't have emotions, they can't be looked at like, for lack of better words, a sissy. Mm-hmm. Like, to your point, I don't want anybody mistreating you. My mom was very much so like that. Like, I don't want anybody to mistreat you. Well, who's to say anybody's going to mistreat me?
Out of love.
But at the end of the day, regardless of how I live my life, I will always be strong. I'll always be able to take care of myself. I won't allow anybody to...
But her job is to protect you.
Yeah, and I think the protection now these days is a little bit different than the protection that it used to be.
Right.
Because when we talk about time periods in the 60s and 70s, and we see that in society... Right. You being homophobic or
at
a
6 years old
or different than anybody could potentially cost you your life. And so we dealing in a different time.
It can cost you your life. Now. It can cost you your job.
But that's just...
But there's gender roles that come. I mean, we had to define it a little bit because we all get tied up in some of our gender roles.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think that's okay. So I told you about like growing up, right? In the household. But let's take the conversation a little further. I think black women are a huge cause of why men are DL.
On the down low.
Yeah. I think black women at times can be very judgmental.
But why everything our fault?
I'm not saying it's your fault.
Yeah.
I
just kind of feel like everything is black women's fault. We this, we not that, we this, we that, we the root cause of everything.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, listen, a huge part of homophobia is in the black community. I'm just saying that, do black women perpetuate it? And in my experience, I do believe so. I believe we're typically only good at times to be your hairstylist, your makeup artist.
Well, you do it so well. I mean, I have to say that because it's a different perspective.
But
I'm gonna agree with you about it.
If you're good at what you do, you good at what you do. You just happen to be gay.
I'm good for that. But when I turn and say, could you raise a son that was gay?
Well, you always gonna start off with gender roles. So if you have a son, you gonna think I'm raising him as a son, and we are binary. So in that way, I'm raising my daughters a certain way. I'm raising my son a certain way.
But
sometimes we're not always.
Is it right though?
I'm not saying it's right, but are we equipped? Are we equipped?
But are you making yourself equipped?
Well,
I think that's what we don't do enough.
Right. Well, let me ask a question. Since this was your narrative,
okay, it wasn't my narrative.
Your mother. It seems like your mother did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Well, I think so.
But
she tried to work with what she had, right?
Right.
And granted, I'm a little older, right? So I grew up in a time period that was much different than what it is today. Right? I think mothers are more equipped. Raising an 8-year-old
in 2022 is different from raising an 8-year-old in 1972.
Now hold on. Now I wasn't born tonight. Damn, wait, now damn.
Well, let's dig. I love this topic because let's dig a little bit deeper underneath.
Okay.
It. Because now we need to just look at the community. Do we feel like sometimes there's judgment and we're looking out for our sons?
Of course.
I think the answer is yes.
Yes.
But then let's dig a little bit deeper into that because I want my daughter to marry a man that's going to want to be with her long term.
Why do you want your daughter to be?
If that's her, she's heterosexual. She's heterosexual, so I'm assuming that's what she wants.
But what if she wasn't, though?
If she wasn't, then
I want her to be with a good woman then.
Well, I would want her to love whoever she loves.
You.
But I can see where the homophobia piece comes in that perpetuates black men not being able to come out.
Exactly.
Because at the root of it, black women want to be with black men.
That's right. But black women love black men.
We love black men.
Even to a fault sometimes.
Right.
Even when you're looking at all these different dynamics of other women.
Right.
And different cultures are able to date outside of their race.
Right.
It's expected that we're dating black men to continue black culture.
That's true.
And at times, that's what we're all about. I have been married twice to black men. I'm not dating black men now because I'm looking a little bit deeper into loving me a different way and who loves me.
Exactly.
That's a different subject for a different day.
It is a different subject.
What they saying about y'all black men?
What it's saying is they're making decisions, have made decisions where they put other classes of women in ahead of us.
Yes.
We got attitudes. We don't want to listen.
Right.
But we raise black men and black women.
We don't perpetuate homophobia. We love our children.
Yeah, you may love your children, but at the end of the day,
to a fault,
when you ask the general population of black women, would you want your child to be straight or would you want your child to be gay? What would be your preference? I guarantee you 99% of them would say, I would want my child to be straight. But what's the reason why?
Because the status quo is that you want to be straight. That's culturally.
Exactly. But why does that have to be the cultural standard? Here's the thing. What parents should be saying is, I want my child to be healthy. I want my child to be successful. I want my child to be educated. I want my child to be loving. I want them to be a good person of this community.
Right, but you say all that in the first trimester.
And when you're
bought into
the fold, then it's just culturally accepted. Just because we have gender roles. Things are changing.
But we have to change. We have to change. We're responsible for changing the narrative.
We do.
We're responsible for changing the world. We're responsible for changing how people's perspective should be.
But sometimes do you think it's culturally, could it even be a fad sometimes?
Right.
Can sexuality be a fad? Is there any idea or thought that sometimes people get on board because they just want to see, what does this feel like? Could this
be about the people that's bi-curious and things of that nature? Is that what you're talking about?
I do. And so now
that ain't how it happened in this community.
But Carl, this is my question.
How does it happen?
How you saying you want the norms to be changed? But my question is how does it make you feel? Because I can't, being straight, I can't negate your entire feelings to say, because my first reaction is no, this is bullshit. I won't holler bullshit. But I can't tell you how to feel.
How you feel.
So my question is,
I love that.
Let me flip it and ask you, how does it make you feel versus black women perpetuate homophobia, but how does it make you feel as a homosexual?
Most of the judgment that I've ever received in my life,
the
hardships, the bullying, the comments, the stares, all of that comes from my own race.
Why though? Why do you?
Was it men or women?
Both.
Men and women?
Both.
Okay.
Right? But in another thing, when I say black women perpetuate, homophobia, it's always that black woman that got to come up to you at a restaurant. Hey, girl, what's the tea? Yes, you are sickening. Yes, girl.
It's not
about being accepted. Why? Just because I'm gay that you have to do that? We're not friends. You don't even know me. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of the judgment.
But do you think they perceived you to be effeminate, so they feel that they have
I guess leeway? So. Whatever way.
That's just because you're so beautiful.
That is because you're so beautiful.
But at the end of the day, right? What that causes is more attention on me.
Yeah.
Right.
That causes people to
make you feel
uncomfortable. Just let me be me in my body. I don't need no judgment. I got enough. I got to deal with already.
Because here's the thing: you don't go up to a regular black man. Yeah. you so sexy. Oh my God. Ooh, you
But
fine.
they actually might be scared to talk to him.
Yeah, that might be
exactly. But with me, you feel comfortable to do that, and what happens is, again, it makes all this negative attention on me. Everybody's staring. Everybody's looking. I'm already going to look a certain type of way when I go out somewhere. Yeah. I don't need even more negative attention towards me because you're doing that. What I'm saying is, in a nutshell, all of the judgment that I've ever received, every bit of, bullying when I was younger, unacceptance, whatever the case may be, it was because of my own community. Now, we could talk about this at another conversation, but it's amazing that my own race doesn't support me holistically in my sexuality, but they want me to support you to go march and say Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. But when it comes time to show up at the court case, at the courthouse to say you want me to, I want to be married to a man and I want to love who I want to love, y'all don't come out in a mess.
But see, at the end of the day, I have been to the parades and all that other stuff because I believe love is love. But at the end of the day,
I'm not talking for you. Yeah, I'm talking for the masses of, again, my own race. Yeah,
but you're black and you're gay. So you still got to come out. Black Lives Matter, and now we still got to get on board about sexuality matters.
Black gay lives matter as well. Yeah, like we talk about Black Lives Matter, all Black lives matter, no matter how you live. Right. Yeah. Right? And this is another thing. Even in the Black community, I'll tell you this is one more thing. This is another thing that bothers me.
We hadn't even touched on religion, and that
could be for a later day.
Right? Don't sprinkle it with no Jesus. Don't sprinkle it with no Jesus.
But here's the thing: I live in a community where women that are gay are more accepted than a man that's gay.
Are they?
Yeah. I would say yes.
Wait a minute.
Two women could be kissing. Two black women could be kissing in the street, and you all wouldn't flinch. Two men could be walking down the street holding hands.
Let me just
and
put
everybody
this out
will be like, "Oh my, oh my God!" Like they're gay.
But that's that's a woman thing because they used to woman. I can walk up the town right now like this, and nobody's like going to say
there is an expectation in masculine feminine. Let's just put it out there. When you thinking about not wholly, it's created by society because it's a separation.
It starts at home.
It's how we were birthed here.
It starts at home.
Now we got to deal with it differently because things are changing. We becoming more binary, which means
we open up our mind. But are we truly accepting it?
Well, everybody has
in 2022, everybody as a black gay man, I still see it in the black community. We haven't come far enough.
Generationally, we haven't. And that's just the nature of it.
And we're all responsible for it.
And we're very religious. We're into the Bible. Right. It preaches a certain practice of how we look at homosexuality in any state.
Let's talk about that.
When you look at the Bible media,
the Bible doesn't really say that.
Yeah, it doesn't. When you look at the media.
Because everybody talks the Bible say.
But no, I have a question for you. I have one more question for you. Do you feel that that black mothers are perpetual in teaching their straight sons to treat homosexual males differently?
I can't answer that question. But here's what I tell you. They may not be teaching them to teach their children something to treat people a different type of way, but what they're not doing is teaching their children how to be inclusive. Yeah. How to show them that everybody's different.
Well, at the end of the day, you gotta be more open-minded. You talking about people that probably
y'all gotta be open-minded. Not me. I'm open-minded.
I know.
Raise your children how to be open-minded.
I'm talking about the person has to be open-minded.
Who?
We, as women, as men, as people in society, just have to be more open-minded to what people look at as their preference. And not until we start opening our minds up will we then say what my mother told me and what my grandmother had to say and her grandmother had to say is not my view anymore.
Or it's not. It's not even a good view because I worked with a white lady that told me she wasn't raised around black people and she didn't know that we were this good.
Baby,
she said me that to my face.
That's a whole nother subject for another day. Because let me tell you something. Y'all be up in arms if a white person says something crazy to you, called you the N-word, whatever.
Yeah.
Black person say something crazy to the gays or whatever, y'all be just blinking like, oh, child.
Well, it's not that we're not in this together.
No, that's not true.
I think we just have to, everybody has to seek to open their mind. I'm a validated because
that's okay, Carl.
At a time in my life.
I'll beat anybody up that try to mess with you.
Baby. But, sometimes
I don't need no protection. They gonna need protection because I put a piece of lead in you.
Sometimes I was a little judgmental against, gays because there was not a lot of understanding.
Yeah,
that's
now,
true too.
And I get it.
Now
But
there's
why
more
are in
understanding.
2022 are we just now getting on TV? Why are we
Right.
just now getting these high profile jobs, right? Why are we just now seeing it in
I believe it's been
in
there.
the music industry?
Right,
Oh,
but
it's
it's
been
the-
there, but it's
right.
been DL because
That's
again,
right, but it's the
topic.
same
perpetuate
evolution
the
as
illness.
We're gonna
blacks
keep going on this
in
one.
that.
I
Yeah.
love it. You
We got a lot
have
more to talk
energized us with this one because we always love you and want to know the feelings
Yes,
and
we
the thoughts
do.
of the community.
And we appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
Hey, I tried.
Once again, take this conversation to your peach brunch